Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back with some league racing, and this is Inside Line Racing League. I believe it is round 10 at Silverstone here, and you can see by the wheel, gone back to the Thrustmaster wheel, which I explained in my previous video, so check that out if you haven't already. Basically, in a nutshell, I just feel much more comfortable with this. But coming into this round, off the back of a result at Austria where was pretty unfortunate in the first few laps. This is probably the track I look forward to the most during the season. It's Silverstone. I managed to win from last place last season around here, and on this game I was just looking forward to it just as much as I did the previous game. And as you can see here, we've got intermediate conditions and already set a lap of a 38.0 as you just saw there. That put me in provisional P2, but now falling back down to P10 and now looking to improve because again, just still trying to get used to this again once the new setup and everything. And although it felt really comfortable, it's still going to take me about a week or so to really get back into the swing of things properly, because I think I changed it like the night before and then it was on this day. But yeah, feeling really good though. In practice went extremely well, even did some wet practice for this, and the lap here so far is going very smoothly. Really enjoy these conditions, but the track is due to be drying towards the end of the session, so I kind of had that in my mind, and it's almost 5 minutes to go. So in my mind on this lap, despite it being pretty good, I'm still thinking that I should probably pit at the end of this lap because I want to make sure I get the dry tyres, because it was really scheduled to be on the dry tyres for the end of it. So you can see, go for this middle sector, we actually go purple, and the pole time's like a 37.3, as you can see here, and we're half a second up. Plenty more time to find this last sector, but coming out of this corner, got a little bit over the white line, but in my mind I can tell you now that I was already going to go into the pits. I wasn't going to complete that lap, but looking back on it now, I don't know, maybe I should have completed that lap. And you can see, looking at the Delta, it's not improving at all. I wasn't really looking at that at that point. A lot of people after the race were really pointing that out to me, so I really thank you for that. But yeah, I was just waiting with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. I'm still sitting in the garage. You can see the Delta here, minus 7 seconds, so the wet is still the quicker tyre, but this is part of my game where I really need to improve. I just need to just be a bit more aware of these things, and I'm still sitting in the garage. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go, and I'm still sitting in the garage and just not doing anything for whatever reason. And you know, it's all good having the pace and all this, but I'm leaving myself literally no time. Still, I think we only got about 30 seconds. Don't forget, the lap is probably going to be a lot slower. Normally the pole lap is probably going to be a mid 25 or a high 25 or something like that. I'm really leaving myself no time whatsoever to get out of the pits. And see, some people retiring. See, 1 minute 40, and the pit lane's a very long pit lane. If it was completely dry, I think we would just have enough time. But as we're coming out of here now, immediately straight away, I knew there was going to be absolutely no way that we were going to go quicker and just get around the lap. I could have cut the track here, but that's not really in the game. I don't think that's something you really should be doing. So yeah, a massive error on my part, and that means we're going to be starting quite far down the field. And if we just completed that wet lap, if I just finished it really without going out wide or anything, that would have been probably a minimum top 3, top 5 as we'll look at the qualifying results. You can see qualifying results, a 37.5 or 6 would have been in the top 6. I think we would have got much better than a 37.5, and we just didn't complete it. And that is just me, just a mistake, just not focusing hard enough. And yeah, it's something I need to work on, definitely. As I say, it's all good having the pace and everything, but if you're not aware to those little details, it can cost you massively. Because I'm starting in P11 when I think really I should have been starting in the top 3, and if not, could have gone even faster on the intermediates. And we've got 5 lights here now, trying to get a good start here, which we do get a reasonable launch off line. Decided to go on the soft tyres. I just didn't think it was really worth going on the medium tyres at the start of the race. Trying to make a good start, but at this point just trying to be patient, don't want to get any damage here, as I've got 2 cars going the inside and the outside of me. And in this league, people are just, I don't know what it is. I think people are just, oh no, I'm guilty of hitting people and stuff before, but people are just so impatient. They just want to treat the first lap like it's the last lap. So we lost 4 positions there, so we're going round the outside of 2 people, getting back into P13, so making up 2 places from that pretty mediocre start. So that was pretty good, and we've still got the whole race ahead of me, because I felt my race pace in practice, and even the qualifying pace in the dry and the wet as well, was really super strong. So I knew, I've done it last season where I came from last to win, as 2 cars go off the side of the track there, so that's put me back into my starting position of P11 now. And again, I just don't understand why people are just being so incredibly aggressive as I make up another position. I don't know who that was, but again, someone has gone off. So yeah, I just don't really understand that, especially on this game of how the damage and the handling model is. I'm finding it difficult to understand why people are doing that, but it's kind of benefited me in a way. Had a poor start by just being, I don't think being too cautious, but I just didn't want to get any damage, because I feel if I could just get through the first lap of the race and then start picking people off, I feel I have a very good chance of getting a good result, as we get a very good run on WOR Verstappen going down the inside of turn 1, and
my fucking god.
Yeah, I just,
why are people so fucking aggressive?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. And again, not gonna cut anything out or anything, I'm just gonna give you my real raw reaction, which, as I always say, I think people will probably be quite angry, but we're gonna have another look at this once again. So getting a very good run. He's on the medium tyres as well. I pull out to alongside him going into turn 1. You can see here, I feel I'm about half away alongside.
Why the fuck is he turning? Why the fuck is he turning into me?
I think a lot of people have different opinions. For me, myself, I'm not even going to really bother putting any blame to someone. I think I was kind of angry at myself. Not because I felt I was at fault, because I don't think I'm at fault. With my honest opinion, I feel I should have been entitled to a little bit more room, because it's a very, very fast corner. Just the way I couldn't really pull out of that or anything at all. And you can see here, I was pretty much squeezed to the curb. There's not really anything I could do, but angry at myself, mainly because I need to learn to be a lot more patient, and depending on who you're racing against and stuff as well. I think everyone's a really good racer in this league, and I'm not saying he's not a good racer or anything, but I think knowing how much pace you have, and I know I had a lot of pace in the race pace here, I should have really just waited to the next corner and just waited to the main straight or something like that, instead of just trying to getting past people instantly. I just need to learn to be a lot more patient, and I think there's a lot of scenarios where it hasn't been my fault, but I think I make decisions on this game, and not just this game, but on previous games as well. I've made decisions that have really cost me big time, when if I was just a little bit more patient and just focused a little bit more, I might lose out in the short term just a little bit, but I think in the long term, in terms of an actual race result, I'd be benefiting so much more. So yeah, I'm not really angry at him. I'm more angry at myself that I decided to do something like that and just really take that risk, an unnecessary risk, because I just don't feel it's really worth it. But moving back to the race now, I decided to pit for the medium tyres quite deepish into the race, and I think the front runners, because since it was wet, they all decided to start on the mediums and they go on the softs. So I'm on the mediums now, and this is just an example of what a lap really would be like. You can see I'm not going up to a hot lap or overtake, because the bad thing as well being around this track is if you're not behind someone, you can't really save any ERS, and this game it's so critical. So when you're in no man's land with no cars near you, it's very, very hard to actually be consistently fast, because you just can't save the ERS and just swap positions and save the fuel and everything like that. So this is just an example of what a standard lap really was. So just going to high only, no overtake, put it into rich, and then normally back down to lean during the middle of the corners just to save the engine temperature and also mainly just the fuel. And yeah, this is just an example of what a lap could have been. You can see so far quite a bit up what we were doing on the soft tyre. Carl Mitchell, he's on the medium, so he pitted about the same lap as me as well, and he's near the front of the race. So that gives you of an example of what a quick medium lap actually is. But we're going to complete this lap, and this is just, you know, an example of how quick I was going in practice, and obviously in this race right here, see going around the last corner now in high still, we do a 29.4, which is 3 tenths faster, and you can see that shake of the head there. Yeah, that's why it's so frustrating, because I just feel if I'm just more patient and just some things go a little bit more my way, like we've got a virtual safety car here now, which is something that's going my way. I feel if I'm just a bit more patient, and if I was nearer the front where I feel I should be, if I didn't make that mistake in qualifying and stuff, if I did that, then I think we can fight for wins on a regular basis. But it's just part of it is me that just needs to focus up a lot more and just be a lot more patient. And as I said, that's something I'm quite angry with myself about during this race. I was very, very angry with myself, really, by just blowing an opportunity for me to have a really good race, to be honest. So as that virtual safety car goes out, we decide to go back into the pits because the chance of points is very, very difficult. As V-Sire has got the same idea. We're just going to try and go for the fastest lap, which is pretty much what we tried to do here. We were following him, but you can see very, very low on the fuel, got no ERS left at all. So as I said, if you're in no man's land and you're not in the DRS train of someone, it's very, very hard to keep up. As Sire goes slightly quicker, a tenth faster, but we're going to have to save quite a bit of fuel now. But yeah, as I said, I feel, you know, it's easier said than done, but if I just cut out those little mistakes, it just makes that smallest difference. If it's like an invalidation, or just not checking the weather properly or something, or, you know, just waiting to the next corner, if I made those small differences, then I think, you know, the results would be a lot more consistently good, which they have been. They've been very, very good recently. But yeah, especially going to this track where I thought I should really be fighting for a win, it was very, very disappointing to me. But we're on the last lap of this race. Hardly got any fuel left, so we're going to have to play around between lean and rich as well. I decided to pit again for the soft tyre because I didn't really feel I got a good lap of the soft tyre before. So we'll just go use it, much fuel as possible, going back down to lean during the corners itself and using overtake and all my ERS, because I managed to harvest that for the last 2 laps. No chance of points for here, unfortunately, if you haven't guessed already. But yeah, overall this race was a really, really big disappointment to me. I felt I had a lot to offer, a lot of what I could have really shown in both the quality and the race, but I think it's my own mistake that I just was far too impatient, and really I could have just waited to the next corner. But saying that as well, I feel the actual incident itself, for me personally, I just felt I wasn't really given any room in the slightest. And you know, once you commit to a move, especially in that kind of corner, and I thought I was entitled to a little bit of room, it's, you know, that's what happens, and that's what the handling model does. But yeah, coming on across into the last chicane now, going into the penultimate corner, let's see if I can get at least the fastest lap of the race, which would be some benefit to this race. As we do get the quickest lap, a very, very low 27 in the end. As I said, very, very disappointing. Still taking some positives because I'm back on this wheel again. I feel so much more comfortable on this. The pace immediately on this felt absolutely great, and I can't wait to do this track again and just future tracks, because I think the rest of the tracks for the rest of the season, I've kind of got my worst tracks really out of the way. There's no real track I really don't like from now onwards, so that should be good. Looking forward to get back up to my level again. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this race. Thank you so much for supporting me as always, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.